Why are you still alive? Because you're exposing so much really powerful information that's changing people's consciousness as they find it and really begin to open their eyes. How is it that you've been able to be here still?
Well, I've been asked this question many times over the years, and it's even got to the point sometimes, Hillary, where I've seen myself on, quote, blacklists as a disinformer, because if what he was saying was true, he'd be dead. And alongside me are listed people who've died, who've been putting out certain types of information. Mm-hmm. But my response to that is, well, let's all line up now, put our hands out for the handcuffs and our ankles out for the ball and chain, because what you're telling me, therefore, and I'm talking about the people who say that, is that we're doomed. Because anyone that speaks out and has anything valid to say is going to be taken out, and indeed being taken out is their license to credibility. And so what's the point? Let's just all line up and walk in the prison camp and just accept it. Mm-hmm. Now, what I'm saying is that we create our own reality, and we are decoding a collective reality from the unseen, like I say, the cosmic internet, as I call it, the equivalent of the wireless internet. But just as, you go online and we can go to the same websites, we'll see the same graphics, we'll see the same words, we'll see the same colors, we'll see the same pictures, because we're experiencing a collective reality, but we won't all have an opinion, a reaction, or a response to what we see that's the same. That's where we, as unique expressions of infinite consciousness, put our own spin on reality. And where I'm coming from is that there are forces at work which are expressions of these truth vibrations, and there are large numbers of them, and more all the time, who are beyond the ability of the control system to take them out. Because if I do not let the fact that I could be taken out into my reality, I cannot decode it into physical experience. I can't do that. And I'll tell you an interesting story. I think it's interesting. When I first came to America in 1996, and I was talking to a man and a dog, and sometimes even the man didn't come, what I did was met a lot of whistleblowers, and I saw a lot of whistleblowers from government and other areas speaking. And what I saw again and again, not in every case, but a significant number, were people wearing the attacks upon them as like a war medal. It's like. And some people, I won't mention his name, but I was in someone's house one day, back in 1996. It was up in New England, and I was waiting to talk in that person's house. That's how big the audiences were at that time for this information. And he went out, and I put a video in, and I saw this man talking. And he was saying some very, very interesting things. But he kept repeating, I don't know how long they're going to let me keep saying this. I don't know how long that I can keep saying this before they take me out. And I sat there that day, Hillary, and I thought, you want to be careful, mate, because you're going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy if you're not careful. The guy came back home, and I said, it's a very interesting video. I had a lot of interesting things to say. I said, what's happened to this guy? Where is he now? He said he's dead. He was murdered. And I thought, well, to be honest, I'm actually not surprised, because, we either manifest our power here, or we run around posturing our inability to continue to do it for as long as we want as some kind of confirmation that we're speaking the truth. I mean, it's like going round and round and round in circles. And I just wake up every day. I'm doing this 12 hours a day, day after day after day, and I will till I keel over. It's my life, it's my passion, it's the only thing I'm interested in doing. and I put one foot in front of the other, and what tends to happen is you get somewhere. Now, I've had a number of efforts to undermine me financially, people being put in my life to undermine me. In fact, the people that have caused me most at my work, my health and everything, most difficulty, most stress, and been the biggest challenges have been people who have expressed their love and support for me more than anybody else. So there are many, many different ways to undermine someone or attempt to without actually pulling a trigger. But what you do is, no matter what is thrown at you, you get up off the floor, you brush yourself down, and you carry on. And when you do that, when you keep being the rubber ball who you can undermine, you can cause stress for, you can cause difficulties for, and all the rest of it, but the rubber ball keeps bouncing. And it's not that I've had 20 years where I've just been left alone. I mean, I've gone through the most extraordinary, staggering levels of ridicule and abuse in this country, Britain particularly. But I've had efforts to undermine me all over the place. But what you do is you get up, you brush yourself down, and you start all over again. And when you do that, you cannot be stopped.
David, I have to ask you this question, too, because somebody knew I was going to be doing the show with you, and they wanted me to ask you this question, and I'm curious what your answer is. Now, there's some proof out there that there are electromagnetic weaponry, things that can interfere with people's consciousness, their electromagnetic field as a form of stopping people, making them sick, giving them cancer, those kinds of things. What's your take on that whole topic? What do you feel is truthful about that?
I think there's no question that's true. Yes. I mean, I've gone through some amazing, funnily enough, electromagnetic attacks myself. They've actually pretty much stopped now, funnily enough. But around the end of 2009, right across January and February, every night, virtually every night, I would wake up and there would be these tremendous electromagnetic fields in the bedroom. And they sometimes look like metallic, like spider things and all the rest of it. But then there was it wasn't that, you could just see them. You could feel them very powerfully too. I remember one night, they were disrupting my sleep so much that I got up out of the bedroom and I walked into my lounge and I lay on the sofa and I fell asleep there and I woke up again. And I looked across, and next to the television set was this, Catherine wheels, these fireworks Catherine wheels. Mm-hmm. There was a spinning kind of Catherine wheel of it wasn't colored, energy, and it was spinning with extraordinary speed. And in the middle was, again, a metallic spider-like thing going out, like the core of it. And I watched it. It wasn't that it was just there for a few seconds and then went. I watched it for about a minute and a half, and I got up, and I thought, I'm going to see what this is going on. I walked towards it, and as I walked very close towards it, it had gone. And this went on for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then just suddenly stopped. I have it, kind of maybe 2 or 3 times a month now, but nothing like as intense as I did then. What that was all about, I have no idea. But that was, and that at the time when I was going through that experience, it was disrupting my health. My rheumatoid arthritis, which is not good at the best of times, was very, very bad then, and I had 1 or 2 other health situations. But again, I'll be honest. What I used to do, I used to wake up, turn over, see all this metallic, electromagnetic stuff around me, and I would, shall I say, give it the finger, and then then I would turn over and go back to sleep. It was quite funny because instead of they're out to get me or whatever, it's like, okay, whatever, throw anything at me, I'm not bothered.